Hey there! In this video I will show you how to make fried squid rings that are delicious and gentle. Many people make a common mistake while cooking squids. They overcook them. Squid meat requires very little time to be cooked, just a few seconds. 30 seconds on both sides, 40 seconds at most. And when you don't do this, when you over fry them, they get really stiff and chewy, and they're not delicious at all. So today I will show you how to make this very simple recipe and enjoy it. Let's get to the recipe. For this recipe you will need amazing fresh squids. I bought these squids on a local market. They're super fresh. I like local squids. Chicken eggs, fine breadcrumbs, so make sure they're fine. If they're not fine, you can slightly blend them in a blender, in a food processor, and sift them through a strainer. But it's important that they're fine because it will give a better texture. All-purpose flour and vegetable oil. That's pretty much it. I am not using salt because these squids are already salty. They are from the sea. These squids are already peeled because the seller was kind enough to peel them for me. But if they're not peeled, you need to remove all these guts and the spines, and also you need to remove the skin. Here is the beak. I'm removing this part because it has this chewy beak. I don't want that. I'm gonna use this part for cooking. I just cut them in rings. When I cut the rings, I try to make them quite thick, relatively thick. Don't make them too thin because your squids will be overcooked. And just cut them like that. And here's what I've got. These are squid rings, and this is the rest of the squids, which I'm gonna cook as well. Then we need to prepare the coating. I will show you how to do this. Let's crack the eggs. When you crack an egg, it's better to crack it on the table counter instead of the edge of the bowl, because when you beat it on the edge of the bowl, it's gonna have some tiny pieces of the shell inside the balls, and it's not okay. If you got any tiny pieces of the shell, you know how difficult it is to remove them with your fingers because they just keep slipping to the side. What you can do, you can just use this shell to catch them, to fish them out, because when you do this with the shell, they don't slip away. It's very simple and useful. And I'll beat them until they're totally homogeneous. The sign that they're homogeneous is when you lift your fork, they flow down immediately. If they don't flow down, if they do like that, it means they're still not homogeneous. You still have to beat them. So I beat them for 2-3 minutes. That's what you need. If there are any egg white lumps inside, your liaison won't be able to perform its function. So you will put your coated piece of squid there, and then you will put it in breadcrumbs, and then the breadcrumbs won't really stick. I will show you how to do the coating. You have all-purpose flour, liaison, and breadcrumbs. Prepare the dry bowl. That's very important. What I prefer to do is to coat them in advance before frying. So when I start frying, I won't have to bother. I won't have to be distracted because frying takes very little time. I got to be concentrated on that. So it's better to coat them in advance, put them in a dry bowl or pot, whatever, and then start frying. That's much better. The most common problem that people face while coating is that when they put the product in flour, then in liaison, then in breadcrumbs, eventually their hand gets really dirty and it prevents them from thoroughly coating the product. So what you can do, you can use your right hand for the flour and the liaison and your left hand for the breadcrumbs. So your final product will be coated evenly and beautifully, just like that. I will show you. So I have squid ring thoroughly coated with flour. Make sure to shake the excess flour, that's very important. Then I put it in my liaison, coat it from all the sides, shake the excess liaison as well, and put it in breadcrumbs. Then I take a little bit of breadcrumbs, put it on the ring, and voila, that's your coated squid ring. I'll show you again. So take one squid ring, coat it in flour, shake the excess flour, liaison from both sides, shake the excess liaison, breadcrumbs, and voila, perfect. Really nice and good looking squid rings, fully coated. If you have some breadcrumbs left, you can strain them with a strainer and reuse for any fish or seafood, but don't use them for meat or chicken. Also, this liaison, I can just make an omelet out of this. It's totally fine. Next, I'm going to preheat the pan. In this case, we will need a really high temperature because we need a nice and crispy coating. At the same time, we're gonna cook it just for a few seconds, and we need it to be brown. So that's why I'm preheating the pan to a really high temperature. Many people make a mistake by adding oil too early in the very beginning. That's a big mistake. Don't do this because your oil will get rancid, because it has some smoking point. After which it gets rancid, it starts producing a lot of smoke. By adding the oil after your pan is preheated, you reduce the time when the oil exposed to the heat. That's really important. You will need tweezers. That's the most convenient way I found for frying squid rings. It's better to use metal pan without non-stick surface, because it will give a better crust and a better color. It's pretty hot already. I can already add vegetable oil. So I start by putting the rings one by one. I put them counterclockwise, so I know which piece I should remove first, which one next. Don't try to move them immediately because they need to have to get some color. And then I start immediately to turning them around. And that's it. Then you remove them. That's all you need. These are a bit burnt because the temperature was too high, but I can take it into account for the next batch. I'm not gonna use the center now because it's way too hot. Now I want to show you how gentle it is. So I will use this burnt piece. I take a fork, slightly hold it with my hand, and just cut through this easily. The meat is very gentle. I don't put much effort. Very gentle. So if you overcook it, it will be chewy, it will be really stiff, and you won't be able to cut it with a fork, with a spoon, no, and it will be not really enjoyable. These pieces are really good and tender. I'm gonna taste it. Yeah, amazing, just amazing. It has enough salt already. This one is burnt a little because the pan was too hot, but I managed to make the rest of them more or less okay. Another thing is that we're using coating. That's really important because the coating allows you to preserve the squid shape. Here I cooked just 2 rings without the coating. Look how shrink they are, how much they shrink. They reduced like 3 times in size. That's a lot. But since we used the coating for these squids, and I also cooked them just for a few seconds, the same way that this rings. But since this one has coating, this ring, now you can compare the size, right? It's like 3 times less, smaller. Since I used the coating, it allowed the meat not to shrink, to keep its original shape, which is really good. So that's what I wanted to show you. Now I'm going to serve the squid rings. And here it is, the final plating. I served it with homemade mayonnaise mixed with sriracha. If you want to know how to make mayonnaise at home, you can check out the link in the description. And yeah, that's it. Very gentle and amazing, crispy squid rings. You can make at home. It's really delicious. I like this dish. If you like the video, give it a like. Let me know in comments what you think about this recipe, and please subscribe to my channel to see my new videos. Thank you for watching.